Hello everybody. I've finished another junk journal and I've used Joey DeFee's methods for collaging the cover, and I'm really enjoying that process, and I feel like it gives me a lot of choice about the way I design my covers. So I've layered various papers. I've got scraps of all kinds, book page for the base, and then I've added some digital papers and music paper. And once I got those laid out, I covered that with at least 2 coats of Mod Podge to seal it, and then run it through the sewing machine and use some dark brown thread to accent the focal points. And I put a strip of muslin on the spine, on the inside and on the outside. And I've sewn in one signature, and I've got these buttons that I just love. These buttons. I'm starting to run low on my supply of vintage buttons. I've used so many on the junk journals, but that's what they're for. But these are interesting, and this is my favorite. It got such neat texture and shapes to it. But I stitched or fastened those on where I found the journal, and inside, both sides of the cover, inside and out, are collaged and stitched and Mod Podged. The inside does have some stamping here and there that I added. And then I've got a lot of coffee dye papers, and I've layered paper here where I did some stitching and torn the edges. And in here done some stamping and layered some papers. And here I've done a pocket that is at the top. I call that an up pocket. I don't know what the official name for that is, but I've used a digital print here and done some stitching and added this pretty piece of lace at the top. And in the pocket, another coffee dye paper, and I've collaged here, and you can open that up and do a lot of journaling and tuck that back in. And a book page. Again, I love blue, and the blues and soft greens in this, just a gorgeous page. Same over here, pretty colors. And I do try to make the spreads at least color compatible where I can. And here I've used a dark green thread stitched around this window and a pretty piece of sari silk. And you can journal around this, a piece of washi tape and this pretty image. Journal around it on the coffee dye paper, a paper doily with a die cut, and some agenda forms, nice to journal on. And this pocket I made from layers of book page, and I stenciled and added some music paper and a fussy cut butterfly stitched around on the machine. And here I just had some scraps of memo pad and cut those down to fit, so you could journal on the inside of that. And stamped here, another scrap left over from the notepad, and this pretty image stitched around it, sari silk stitched on and layered it on paper bag, and that goes right back in the pocket. This is half of a paper bag right here, and I've layered paper on it, more washi tape, more collage of leftover items. Here's some book page and a digital print, more machine stitching. And here I had access to a vintage hymnal that was badly damaged, and what I salvaged of that, I used a piece there and a die cut and a pocket, and I need to get something in that pocket, but I've collaged paper down here and fussy cut the bird. This page is a lot of fun over here. I've taken an envelope and attached the flap underneath this piece of paper. I've cut it down to fit, put the piece of paper, this piece matches, and it folds over. And fussy cut the bird, added some wording, and over here I added another piece of that pretty blue paper, and inside, more journaling space. I attached some coffee dyed paper and stamped the bird, and you can journal on that, and then it just flips over the coffee dyed paper, and this flips out. And here I've got washi tape, and I like the center of the signature on this. I've never used this before as the center, but this is a trifold journaling spot that's shaped like a tag. And I thought that was very pretty and kind of unique. I've got washi tape here to reinforce the edge, and then fussy cut some butterflies. And then you can journal on this and flip it over. And this is kind of my trademark in my journals, is to take a book page and cut it out and attach it to a coffee dye page, and then take embroidery floss and hand stitch around the edge and tie it in a bow. And I just love the way that looks, and I really like this effect of the frame. You can doodle or journal around the outside edge, put an image in there, journal in the middle, whatever. But I really like the look of that. And across from these pretty yellow butterflies, I've got more of that hymnal paper with another die cut and a definition of the word kindness. Over here, excuse me, I've layered more paper and a fussy cut butterfly. Same here. And in this pocket, I've folded up the paper, stitched along the edge to make the pocket. This is fun. You can take scraps of fabric and attach them to scraps of paper, and you can journal and hide that with that pretty piece of vintage fabric and journal on the back. And this tag is made from cardstock, and I've added a butterfly and a smaller tag that's collaged and tied with sari silk and a piece of string and coffee dye paper on the back. And one more tag in that pocket, white paper, and used a teal colored thread to match the scrap of fabric and the scrap of lace. And I've stamped a butterfly. You could journal on the front and back. And with any luck, it all goes right back in the pocket. Over here, a little bit of layering of papers. And this was a collaged page that was made from, the base was book page, and I've got calendar, a digital image, a die cut bee. This is cardstock that I ran through my embosser, and I've hinged this to this page with the washi tape. And this was from a flower book in the word gratitude. This is the other half of that paper bag, and in it, this is one of my photographs that I've jazzed up a little bit and softened in Photoshop, and I've stitched around it, layered it on coffee dye paper, and added the definition of the word gratitude. Lots of space to journal in here. I've got some stamping along the edge, stamped the bird and layered it, the word amaze, more layering of paper doily and some die cuts. This is a fun layout, both sides. To this page where I've collaged, I've added this digital design that's got the flowers and the bird and a definition for the word nature. And you can journal here. I've got washi tape hinging in this page. This was a digital design that I purchased, and I printed it and folded it in half and then stitched it into a pocket. I folded the corner down so it would have an opening for the pocket, and used the word special. And inside this whole big pocket, I've got this for journaling, coffee dyed paper, and it can be unfolded, so you've got some nooks and crannies there. And I've added that pretty image and a butterfly, and that can go right back in. When your hands work and you're coordinated, it can go right back in that pocket. And here I've got a little washi tape with some butterflies. This fabric had, what's the word, dragonflies on it. I pleated and gathered that a little bit in a piece of vintage rickrack, in a piece of sari silk, and I've hand stitched the button on a nice trim for the edge of the page, matching the colors over here on the book page. And I love this layout too. These go real well together. Another one of the up pockets or tuck spots. I've got music paper, the butterfly, the faux butterfly stamp, and stitched with book page, and stitched that on with the machine. And love, love, love this envelope printout. Love the colors and the designs. And inside this envelope, I've got index cards. This one is coffee dyed, so space to journal in those. And this is the back of the cover, the edge of the muslin to reinforce the spine, and the stitching and all the pretty layers of paper on there. I just love this journal. I love the colors. I like the feel of it. You can feel that stitching underneath your fingertips and the buttons, and they clank together. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but there you go. I enjoyed working on it. Can't wait to start another one. Thanks for watching. Have a great summer. Bye.